Welcome back to Gentle Calm. This is a place to pause for a moment, not to solve anything, not to improve yourself, just to breathe and let your nervous system catch up with you. Today's reflection is for anyone who's been carrying a quiet worry in the background, the feeling that you're somehow falling behind in life, behind where you should be, behind where you expected to be, behind everyone else. If that thought has been following you around lately, this is for you. There's a particular kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much in one day. It comes from carrying too much for too long. Not just tasks, not just responsibilities, but expectations, internal pressure, the sense that you're supposed to be moving faster, accomplishing more, keeping up. When you're tired in this way, even small things can feel heavy. Decisions feel harder than they should. Motivation comes and goes. Rest doesn't feel as restorative as you hoped. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, a quiet conclusion starts to form. Something must be wrong with me. But very often, nothing is wrong. You're not falling behind. You're just tired. Tired from pushing through days that asked more than you had to give. Tired from holding yourself to standards that don't leave room for being human. Tired from trying to function normally while your system has been asking for rest for a long time. We live in a culture that treats tiredness like a personal flaw. If you're exhausted, the assumption is that you need better habits, more discipline, more motivation. But exhaustion is not a character issue. It's information. It's your body and mind saying, I've been running without enough recovery. When you're tired, your perception changes. Time feels compressed. Progress feels slower. Other people's lives can suddenly look very far ahead of yours. You might notice yourself comparing more than usual, scrolling and thinking, how are they doing all of this? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward while I'm stuck? But comparison rarely accounts for context. You don't see how much rest someone else gets. You don't see what support they have. You don't see what they're not carrying. And you definitely don't see the parts of their life that feel unfinished or uncertain. When you're tired, the mind tends to turn exhaustion into a story about failure, a story about being behind, a story about time running out. But tiredness doesn't mean you've missed your chance. It means your system is asking for care. There's a difference between being unmotivated and being depleted. Unmotivated means you don't want to act. Depleted means you don't have the energy to act, even if you care deeply. And treating depletion like a motivation problem only makes it worse. You don't fix exhaustion by pushing harder. You fix it by listening sooner. That might mean allowing yourself to move more slowly than you planned. It might mean letting some things remain undone without turning them into evidence against yourself. It might mean redefining what enough looks like right now, because enough is not a fixed number. It changes depending on what you're carrying. Some seasons of life are for building and expanding. Others are for maintaining, and some are simply for getting through the day with kindness intact. All of them are valid. If you've been feeling behind, it may be because you're measuring yourself against a version of you that isn't accounting for reality. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. You've lived more. You've adapted. You've survived things that required energy. That counts. Rest is not something you earn after you've proven your worth. It's something you need in order to function at all. And rest doesn't always mean stopping completely. Sometimes it means removing unnecessary pressure. Sometimes it means doing fewer things, but doing them without self-criticism. Sometimes it means letting today be smaller than yesterday. You don't need to justify your tiredness. You don't need a dramatic reason to slow down. You're allowed to need less from yourself. If your pace has changed, that doesn't mean you've lost direction. It means your system is recalibrating. Growth doesn't always look like momentum. Sometimes it looks like stabilization, like finding your footing again, like conserving energy, like choosing sustainability over speed. If you've been telling yourself you should be further along by now, pause for a moment. Ask a gentler question. Further along according to what? A timeline you inherited? A comparison that doesn't include your full story? An expectation that ignores your capacity? Life is not a race you can fall behind in. There is no universal schedule you're failing to meet. There is only your body, your mind, and the pace they can honestly sustain. Right now, it might be enough to simply acknowledge how tired you are, without turning that into a judgment, to notice the fatigue without layering shame on top of it, to let today be what it is. You don't need to catch up. You need to recover. And recovery is not a detour, it's part of the path. The energy you're looking for doesn't come from pressure, it comes from permission. Permission to slow down, permission to be human, permission to rest without explaining yourself. You are not falling behind. You are responding to the weight of what you've been carrying, and that deserves compassion, not urgency. As this reflection comes to a close, remember that tiredness is not a verdict. It's a signal, and signals can be listened to. If this moment felt grounding, you're welcome to stay with gentle calm for more quiet reflections like this. You can also find written reflections on Substack. The link is in the description whenever you feel ready. If this video helped in any small way, a simple like helps it reach someone else who may need to hear the same reminder. Take care of yourself, gently, and move through the rest of your day at the pace that fits you.